I watch a lot of tennis lessons delivered by a lot of coaches around the world. And in many of those lessons, I see the coach with the basket feeding from the middle of the court. They could be feeding from the tee, or they could be feeding from the middle of the baseline. But either way, they are feeding from the middle. Here are some simple reasons why you can be so much better than that in your individual lessons. The first reason is that if I feed from the middle of the court, there's a good chance that my player is going to hit the ball back down the middle of the court. Tennis isn't played down the middle of the court. Tennis is played using the angles and the full width of the court. So simply by changing your feeding position away from the middle of the court, you start to create different tactical situations. Secondly, if I take a couple of steps away from the middle of the court, I could even go all the way to the corner, and I feed from away from the middle, I start to ask my player some questions. Are you going to return the ball back cross, or are you going to go down the line? If the ball is coming deeper, what tactical choice are you going to make? If I feed the ball cross court a little shorter, what are you going to do with that ball? Those choices and those match play decisions don't exist when we feed from the middle of the court. They do exist when we start to move our feeding position away from the middle of the court. And thirdly, if I feed away from the middle of the court and I feed the ball cross court, I require my player to have to move from their position out to the cross court ball to either return it cross court or to go down the line. And then when they've played that shot, either cross or line, they then have to recover. That's what happens in match play. That's what I believe should therefore happen in the lesson. When we feed from the middle, the player doesn't have to move very much and the player doesn't have to recover very much. It's such a missed opportunity. So there are three simple reasons why, by simply moving your basket at least 1 meter away from the middle of the baseline, you can be so much better with your feeding in your individual lessons.